to the earth, can feel the fire. We're grounded, feel it all through my feet. Rise into the sky, rise into the sky, rise into the sky.
have a special edition of Birthing the Frequency here on KKCR, where we honor the sacred threads that weave community, creativity, and consciousness. Let's begin by taking a breath together. Inhale what nourishes, and exhale what no longer serves. Allow yourself to land here, fully present in this moment, as we welcome the energy of the Birth Festival. Today, we're opening a portal into the vision of BEarth Festival Kauai, a transformational 3-day gathering rooted in music, healing arts, and conscious community. And we're joined by the powerful visionaries, Sarah Bisarello, Numana Joy, and Nova Soluna. I trust that I said that correctly. The co-creators, or as they call themselves, birthers of this sacred event. Let's bring them on. Hello there, ladies.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you for coming. Now we can start off with sharing a bit about you guys, one after another. However you guys want to start off.
Okay, I'll go first. My name is Sarah Bisarello. I've been living here on Kauai since about 2018. And I am a mother and a wife. I have 2 children. I have a third ready to come any moment right now. could be in this radio show. It could be a few days from now. I am, an advocate for natural birthing and actually all birth, any ways that can support the mother and the father and the families to have this beautiful experience. As a mother for myself, I can understand how the women feel, how the parents feel, and we came together as a trio of us to really support this community of birthing and giving the tools and the ways for mothers, fathers, birth workers, singles to all come here together and to gain wisdom and knowledge and to really trust back into themselves again, come back to their heart. I have been helping people prepare for these beautiful children that are coming to this planet right now. As you guys all know, they're very amazing kids. And so I help the parents prepare emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and what needs to happen within them own selves to receive these divine gifts from God. So I'm here supporting that process for all the families. And here supporting the process of this birth festival, which has been in the hearts of many for maybe 10, 12 years. And I saw this vision almost 6 years ago.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing when I was living near Kauai. As you guys don't know, but Kauai is like, quote unquote, that they say is the birth portal where all the souls come in through Kauai, right? So it's not just Kauai babies, but it's babies all over the world. And the Dalai Lama actually, what did he
came and he confirmed it.
He confirmed it. Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So back in 2018, I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, there's got to be a big festival and gathering for all these children and all for the families and for the singles and everyone alike to come together to support these next generation of keiki that are coming into this world. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I met these beautiful women here. Numana actually had the vision. I'm sure she's going to share with herself, but as soon as I met her, I was like, okay, she's got this too. We're gonna do this. It is time. It was so I just got pregnant and I was like, it is time to birth this into the physical reality here so everyone can experience this frequency that we have, this love, this gathering of birthing.
Oh, it was a calling. It was a conscious download.
Absolutely. It was like there's no other way. It was like, you come here, you gotta do this. So here we are, and we're just so grateful to be here and to be able to share with all of you guys.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Of course.
That's amazing. Numana, you want to go next?
Absolutely. Yeah, it really was a calling. So my name is Numana Joy. I am the founder of the Womb Health Academy, and so my work has been with the womb and hormone balance and emotional healing, somatic work. And so I was actually traveling quite a bit off island. I've lived here for about 5 years to offer my work and my ceremonies elsewhere. And in 2023, I had this sudden shift where I heard I need to go back to Kauai. I need to stop offering my work elsewhere. I need to bring it to the land. And I kept hearing a birth festival. Like, what is this? I kept hearing birth festival. So I ended up canceling everything, coming back and staying here on the land. And I started to go to all of these gestation circles and talk to midwives. And lo and behold, this had been a dream and a prayer in the hearts of midwives. We found out for over a decade, so many of the local birth workers had seen a vision of us all coming together in celebration of birth and sharing the resources of education and wisdom and being, seeing who's here, who's available, who's supporting this. And so it came forth in 2023, and then in 2024, that's where the place where we're hosting the festival came about. It was actually my Puna Dawson. I'm part of her halau. She was leading a sunrise blessing on this land, and I went there. And then lo and behold, I start sharing about the vision again. And then somebody says, oh, I helped build these structures on this land, and we've been wanting to host a festival, and we've heard it was around birth. And so the first gathering that we ever had as a group, there was a council, I think of about 8 of us that joined in May of 2024. And a week before we all gathered to envision this and dream weave it together, there was a big rainstorm. And the waters that are up on Kalalea Mountain actually came down. And so there's beautiful waterfalls that ended up spilling out into these beautiful pools at the base of Kalalea. And we saw it as a sign that, okay, there's fertility on this land. It's time. We're here. And so those council meetings continued. And then, sure enough, months later, Sarah comes to Island and she's like, I've seen the vision. I'm here to help make it happen. And then Nova arrives, and all 3 of us we committed. And the cool thing is, and I'm sure Nova will love to share some of her story too, but the really cool thing is neither of us knew each other when we started this. It was literally like Kalalea Mountain herself called us all forward, and we just knew our assignment, and we showed up, and we've learned each other's skills, and it's so amazing the different diversity of skill set each council member has and what we're creating. And so I feel really blessed, and I personally am not yet on the path of having a child. It is my deepest heart wish to become a mother. And so yeah, I feel, for me, I represent all of those singles, those people out there that are wanting this education, that are wanting to start coming into alignment with this being part of their lives, getting the education, trusting their body, getting to know the different birth workers and midwives of this community. So many of the speakers are local, but also inter-island, and a few, well-known experts coming from off-island. So there's just an abundance of education and preparation that is available for everyone in this journey. Mm-hmm.
Such amazing stories. I love how the stories kind of like weave together like a braid, Mm-hmm. Let's explore your story, Nova.
Hi everybody, my name is Nova Soluna. You were close. It's really good to be here. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. So I'm a birth worker and an earth worker, a birth tender and earth tender, a birth guardian and an earth guardian. My role in this work is to bridge the earth work with the birth work. And that's why we are Birth Festival, spelled BEarth, because we are the earth, and our origin is birth here on this plane. And my purpose, my passion in this life is remembering our innate interconnectivity to all of creation and to the forces of nature. And so I feel strongly Kaua'i called me back here, and Kalalea called me back here to be a part of this gathering and to be a midwife of this festival and this gathering with Numana and Sarah. And the way we were all brought together, as Numana was saying, is just divinely orchestrated by Kalalea and by Creator. And I feel that my mission with remembering these principles of reciprocity and care and compassion and connection with the earth, and being conscious stewards, being consciously embodied is a primary part of this festival and a primary part of our mission with BEarth Festival. And I feel so grateful for the opportunity to be of service in this way and to carry this, what I feel to be a great responsibility, this ability to respond, as Sarah was saying, being an advocate, using our voices and the power of our hearts and our minds and our choices and our actions to be messengers of this miracle that is life and this miracle that is birth, and the magic of the elements and the earth and the way it all connects, and to bridge that remembrance and the celebration and the beauty of it all. And so yeah, it's such an honor.
Amazing. You ladies are amazing. So you want to dive into the BEarth Festival now? Yeah, let's start with probably one of the listeners' biggest questions. I mean, who is the BEarth Festival for? What kind of soul is it calling?
Yeah, so our mission and what we share is all birth is sacred, no matter the form, and how we birth matters. And so we're calling in singles, couples, people ready to conceive, people knowing that one day maybe they want to conceive. But this is also multi-generational. So those that are workshop facilitators, some of them are elders, some of them are grandparents. We also have men, women, this is for everyone. We have a whole KK zone, so the children, because we believe they're part of this. We are midwifing. We are midwifing a cultural shift. We're returning to this village template. Obviously, we're in modern day times. So much has changed back from that, but it is in our DNA, that memory. And we're meant to be, birth is meant to be communal. And so we are going to be together. We're going to be having rite of passage ceremony from men going into fatherhood, women going into motherhood. Yeah. There's so much here. Sarah, do you want to share a bit more about?
Yeah. I mean, what's amazing is that, so we've been doing these monthly gatherings called the BEarth Gatherings for the last 5 months in preparation for the BEarth Festival coming. And we've seen all walks of life. We've seen literally the first one, we had 10 men. And 5 of them are single, and they were like, I'm so happy that you support the single men, because we want to find our beloveds. They want to be in this feeling, because normally when you go to these types of gatherings, it can be kind of woo-woo, or it's just all women, and they're the men are cut out, and we don't see the men being cut out. We don't see the children being cut out. We don't see the single women being cut out. We don't see postpartum. We want to support everyone, so I see it as from that moment of that innate feeling in your heart of I want to have creation. There's a creation sense in there. I want to find my beloved. I want to have a child. You are welcome. I want to support the family. So people even that don't want to have kids but want to support families, they want to be here, and we want to support them. We want to support everyone's process within this entire process, within this journey of life, from preconception all the way to postpartum. And I know for myself, being a mother of almost 3, it is so needed. Community is needed. So we're telling everyone out there, you are not alone. I know it can be lonely as a mother having children, and where do I go to? Where are my people? We're here, and we want to bring everyone together so you can feel that. Can feel that you are not alone, and that you are supported, and that the fathers are supported, because we know that is a big part of birth and big part of fatherhood is what happens to the man too. They just, I gotta work, I gotta be the provider, and now it's no, we're here to support you, because they also need their men's circles. They need to gather, they need to get out their testosterone, just like we need to go through our process, right? So we're here for them all.
Yeah, that's so beautiful to hear, because when a baby comes in, it's the most beautiful thing, yes. And it's also adds so much to the parents, and that adds so much to a relationship. So when you have a community to support as well, I mean, there's not all of that strain, you know?
Yeah, and that's part of the process too. We're going to be sharing about is like what happens postpartum, and what are these real life parents that are going to come in and speak and like help people educate, like how to work through those feelings, how to step into this new way of life,
Right.
and losing your old self but not losing gaining, right?
Yes, that's amazing. So moving forward, for those who are just hearing about the BEarth Festival, what can they expect across the full 3 days of the festival?
Should we share about the birth continuum?
On day one, on Friday, we're going to start our journey through the birth continuum with preconception and conception-based workshops and presentations. And then we move into gestation and birth on Saturday. And Sunday is postpartum and holistic family living.
Amazing. Okay, so they have what kind of workshops and speakers will be available for the people that are coming?
Yeah, we have educational workshops, immersive workshops, guided journeys, meditations, yoga, music, dance, rites of passage.
We have midwives coming in. They're going to speak specifically on these topics, and other people who are their expertise. So we have some people that are expertise like in preconception. You know, we have people that are experts in birthing and what that looks like, and that gestation period, and postpartum as well.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so we feel that this festival represents so many people. We also have some nurses that are going to be there as well. And a lot of people who've been reaching out, some are birth workers, and they've been asking, is this for me too? Like, I want to participate. And there's so much education that's available, and this is all in real time. So we're inviting those that are in the birth working community as well, that's their job, to come and just be immersed with others and have these powerful conversations and gain more experience. And every evening we're going to have an incredible musician. So after we've been immersed in workshops, rite of ceremony, passageways all day long, we're going to celebrate all together. We're going to dance. We're going to listen to beautiful music. And we're going to have a big farm to table feast the last day, so everyone can be nourished in their postpartum experience.
Amazing.
And yeah, so the whole arc of the festival is really meant to, and Nova can speak more to this as well, is that you're going to come into this, and of course you're going to learn so much information around, you know, how to keep your body healthy, nutrition classes, herbalism classes, homeopathy to prepare in your preconception phase, you and your partner, for bringing in the baby. And then we're going to go into the actual gestation process as well, such as pain-free pregnancy and different postures and different herbs, etc. And then we're going to go into birth itself with the stages of labor. And we have some midwives teaching on that, as well as the brain waves, like what actually happens when you're giving birth. We're going to have education on water birth. So basically you can come in, we're not promoting one specific way, but you get to learn all of this information and whatever is sparking your divine intelligence. Like, yes, this makes sense to me. It's going to support your own process and your own sovereignty and your own trust. And then the last day we'll have a lot of education on postpartum, whether it's nutrition classes, or even the identity shift that happens when you let go of maidenhood and you become a mother and the responsibilities there, or you get your second child. And, you know, when you have 2 kids, like, what are some of the things that can actually come up in your relationship dynamics with your partner, and what are some of the conflicts, and what are the things that can support moving through these times into more union, more love, more support for the family. And so there's just so much. We really wanted to give some rich education, workshops, experiences for the whole entire birth continuum. And we know some mothers will be there probably with their newborns and breastfeeding, so we have an integration tent as well, so that they can be nourished. And, you know, maybe if they're not attending a workshop, talk to another mother, meet somebody else in the local community. We really see people making lifelong friends here and feeling like, oh, there's a whole community here that is supporting me in this journey. I'm not alone.
And the keiki, there's a big keiki zone, so all the kids are welcome to come and play.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, if you have kids, you can bring them. We want you to bring 'em.
Like karaoke
Yes.
and artwork and just so much fun.
We have the local coach Kevin coming in, dropping it for us there. So he's like the OG of all these kids. Kids love him.
Yeah.
And he's going to be running the whole keiki area.
Amazing. It sounds like a magical event. It really does.
It's so good. And the last thing we wanted to talk about too around the workshops and how it flows is that we actually have an opportunity to rebirth ourselves. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I've learned on my journey with doulaship and even this process of birthing BEarth Festival is how much this work brings you into your own birth and your own origin story. And there are several workshops that are exactly for that, the limbic imprinting recoding, birth into being method. And also I feel just being present in the space, in the container, and connecting with other people, being around this work and the essence of it and the frequency of it, just inevitably brings you into your own being. And it for me has brought up so much reflection on my own patterning and my own choices in life and my origin and what all of that looks like. And there's been such deep healing in myself throughout this process. We've all talked about and shared, like, so much has come up for each of us, and we see so clearly how we are rebirthing ourselves in the journey of birthing BEarth Fest. And so I definitely want to highlight that this festival is also for anyone that wants to explore that journey within themselves and experience that healing, and remember that we are all birthers and we are all creators. We all have this creative power within us, and every choice that we make, every word, every action, and every moment is an act of birth. It's an act of creation. And coming together to really see that responsibility and the beauty of that is an innate part of the festival.
Amazing. Love that. This sounds so exciting. I'm so excited to be a part of it. So thank you. I'm excited that I was introduced to you. Thank you, Jess. So aside from the attendees, I myself, I don't have any children, but I have raised a number of them between, other people's children or nephews and nieces. I work at Kaua'i Elementary School, so, I work with all of those keikis, and I so heartedly believe in, they are our future. And the more that we nourish them and the more that we give them, like, the better it is for not just them, for all of us. So I know there's a lot of other people out there just like that. So aside from attending, are there people that can kind of get involved, or how might they be able to do that?
Well, right now we have a lot of volunteer opportunities for involvement. We need support. We need community support on site, on ground during the event. All types of positions are available for that, in the same way that we need support for the village to operate and to be thriving. We're also calling in donors and just anyone that's feeling aligned with the vision and the mission, and anyone that feels inspired and is following that creative spark within themselves. Please reach out. Feel free to connect with us at any capacity.
Yes.
Our website is BearthFestival.com, and you can contact us through there or any of our social medias.
I mean, just like any birth, we have the midwives, but we also have the community surrounding and the doulas that are supporting the process. And we know as 3 women, we're making this happen, but having that support from the community is so essential and needed, and we open our arms widely for all of that.
Amazing. So one more time, the website that they can see you at or find information
is BearthFestival.com, spelled BEarth ARTH, like BEarth, so birth.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
love it.
we have a really amazing workshop that's going to be also about the sacred witness, it's called. So those that are present during the birth, and that their responsibility is holding the field. So anyone who is wanting to participate and come and be a volunteer or even support with donations, we believe that you are part of this living organism, which is BEarth Festival, that we're birthing together in real time, and that you're supporting holding the field, it being resourced, it being taken care of, it's your love. So we just wanted to point that out.
Right. And also too, like, as we talk about this more and more, I don't know if you guys have found this, but like literally the more we share, more people come through and they're like, oh, I've seen this, I've heard this, oh, it's actually happening, okay, I want to be a part of it too. So if that's you out there, like, please come, you know, because we know that it's been sparking in the ethers for a long time, right? So we welcome you.
All right. And what about for those who can't attend physically, like they can't make it physically here? How can they participate?
Oh yeah, well, we have something very special for you. This is going to be live streamed.
Yes. Yes, we're gonna have a live stream, which you are helping out with us, Tiana.
I am. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, we have two different stages, or rooms you could call it, live online, that we're gonna be filming each and every presenter. So if you can't make it, you can watch it live online, and you'll have access to this knowledge and this wisdom for a year. Okay, and that's going to be all on BEarth Festival.
All the replays.
All the replays, everything. So you can literally be sitting from your home eating popcorn and watching it if you so choose to, you know?
That sounds amazing. So we're coming up on the hour. So before we continue this sacred conversation, we'll take a short break to honor our local community announcements. Let this moment be an invitation to breathe, to integrate, and to remember why you're here. All right, let's get it. you're just tuning in, you're joining a powerful conversation with the visionaries behind the BEarth Festival Kauai, Sarah, Numana, and Nova. We're going to bring them back on. Thank you for joining me, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So we're going to jump right back in. And the question that I have for you guys is, can you tell us a little bit more about the speakers and what kind of workshops, ceremonies, or performances that are going to take place at the BEarth Festival?
Well, first of all, I just want to share that this feels like such a beautiful labor of love as it's happening over Labor Day weekend, August 29th through the 31st. And yeah, as we are focusing on that multi-generational feel, we have somebody representing all different walks of life. In fact, we have my kumu, Puna Dawson, who's coming and leading a beautiful ceremony around the embodiment of aloha. We have Auntie Sabra, who's coming in and supporting. We also have Kahu Kala Elijah, also known as Son of Oahu.
Represent Oahu.
Yeah, he's going to be coming in and leading a rite of passage ceremony for men going into fatherhood with Ava, a traditional Ava ceremony. So we're really excited about that. Those are some of our ceremonialists who are really going to be creating a field that we can all connect and feel the sacredness of birth together, of these rite of passage, of community, of the children coming through. And then as far as our workshops go, oh my gosh, we have so many from the local midwives, inter-island, and then some coming from off-island. Do you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lactation specialist that's going to come in. We have a midwife, Elmira, who specializes in not just home birth, but how to bridge the gap between hospital and home birth, how to bring like a home birth experience into the hospital, right? And so for those supporting the women who do want a hospital birth but want to have more natural practices or just more of a voice, right? We have our local Miyako, Miyako Aoki, and she's going to be doing different positions and ways to support, right, the process.
Yeah, for the partner also to know how to support
exactly
during
like, health. Yeah, pubic health, exactly. We've got Wapio from the Matrona. If you guys know who she is, she's going to be coming in live actually, and she's coming from all the way from Oregon, and then she's going to be sharing with us about the different stages, right, of the
the sacred witness too, how to hold the birth field. Yeah, and what's really cool is we've reached out to many midwives here locally because we want those that are attending obviously to know who's here and who is doing this work. And so one of the things that we knew right away that we wanted to do, and we're so excited it's happening, is a sacred panel where we're having multiple midwives on there because, you know, midwives have their own style, and we're going to be asking some powerful questions, and then they get to answer based off of their experience, their expertise, their mission. And so we'll have that diversity of different speakers live
and perspectives. Absolutely. And we're going to have what's also called like the birth story panel too.
The birth story panel.
So we have women sharing about their births, and so people can hear the different stories about, you know, these particular births, but then also have the opportunity to share about their own, right? I know as a woman, as a pregnant woman, once you have a baby, you're like, I want to share my story. And they say, every time you share your birth story, you heal. And pieces and aspects of it heal.
Interesting.
So as every woman shares a story, so we are encouraging to share your story, to share that birth story.
In addition to that, we know that there can be womb losses as well, and experiences that bring a lot of deep grief, whether it's miscarriage, stillbirth, etc. So we have spaces for that. We have a whole workshop on that because we know in the process of birth, and even, you know, singles who want to be moms so bad, it can bring up grief, and we want to acknowledge, you know, the real emotions that arise in the process. So there's spaces there for you too. So many spaces, just really wanting to tend to all the emotions and all the excitement and everything that can emerge in the birthing process.
Absolutely. And we're going to connect this all with, you know, the food and agriculture. We have a speaker coming in that's going to actually correlate how agriculture and the food we eat, and when you eat from the land, and how that actually changes the child from being connected with the earth, when the mother's connected, when the father's connected, and how they're eating from the earth. And so how that will help grow that child and help them connect them to not just the earth, but themselves and who they truly are. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, being a parent of your third is coming up.
Yes.
All right. So, for any of the listeners, when you're not on and you're not about doing something, how do you personally ground and replenish? Do you have any simple practices that the listeners could try? New to, first-time parents, or even those that are still learning, even though they've been a parent for some time. Do you have any cues for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been teaching a practice for nearly 11 years, and one of it is just simply, taking 5 minutes a day, placing your hand on your heart, sitting your butt on the earth, and just connecting in with how you are feeling, and listening to yourself, giving yourself a moment to just be, to be acknowledged, and to be heard by thyself, right? Because we always want that acknowledgement from other people, but when was that last time that you actually sat with yourself and listened to the things that you're feeling and the things that you need, and connect back to your truth, right? Because we can get lost as parents, doing everything. As a mother, we're on 24/7. There's not a moment where you're not thinking about your child, what's happening. They could be asleep and you're still like, what's happening? Okay, did they move? Are they okay? And giving yourself that 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day to be on the earth, connect with your heart, it will tremendously change not just your day, but the outlook of yourself, right? Because if you cannot be 100% within yourself, how can you show up for another being? So making sure that those places within yourself are taken care of, you're nourished, you're fed, if you need to go work out, whatever it is that inspires you and helps you as a human being just be in that present state, taking those times for yourself every day is really important.
That is definitely important, and it's so easy and a go-to for people to find ways to kind of numb things out, like just the noise,
Absolutely.
And it's crazy. I do it to myself sometimes. Like, music is my thing, so I constantly have music going, but the second that you're like, all right, I feel something's rumbling underneath the surface, and you tune out all of the noise,
right.
And then boom, it's like, oh well, this hurts and that hurts, and I have a headache, and now this thought comes through.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, you really have to just sit with yourself and check in with yourself. And I try to promote that on the show all the time. Like, are you checking in with yourself? What's coming up, acknowledge whatever's coming up,
Absolutely. And feeling it, not just like, it's like seeing it, but then actually feeling it and allowing it to release from your body.
Right.
It's a challenge, because we definitely like to numb out, for sure. And especially as a mom or dad, you're like, okay, I've got 5 minutes, I'm just gonna go scroll on Instagram, or like you said, get on music. But just coming back to that heart, it can really change everything.
And I love that you said sit on the earth too.
Yes.
Like, really let the earth, let the mother support us in that process.
Yeah, grounding is definitely another important thing. And coming to Kauai, I learned a whole lot about grounding and listening to yourself and finding yourself. And Mama Kauai, she puts you through some things, And me being a Sagittarius Scorpio, I love going into the depths. So I met my shadow self, and it was amazing, And that's something else that I promote is becoming friends with your shadow self. I mean, a lot of people try to demonize the shadow self and the ego, and you don't want to do that. Like, it's always going to be there, and you're just going to be going around in a merry-go-round if you're trying to get rid of it. You become friends with it so that you control it and it doesn't control you. And a big part of that is being able to ground and sit with yourself and listen and see what thoughts are coming up, and know that it's not you.
Right.
and let them float by like clouds in the sky, but you gotta let them come up, right? So that, I feel like that would be a big thing for parents, especially because there is a lot of stress that comes with it. There's a lot that comes up, and if you keep it bottled in, that creates a lot of tension within the home, and the kids can feel that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be teaching that practice day one.
Oh, amazing.
To help people. And then not only are we going to go into the heart, but then we're going to actually help you connect with your children that want to come in, to help connect with that child. Because once we go into the heart, once we can connect with ourselves, we can then hear and see and feel the soul in the child that wants to come in, and we can take actions accordingly, so we can be in that selfless service to these children.
Yeah, and prior to that, I'm leading through a womb healing ceremony, a somatic dance. So if there is just pent up energy in the nervous system, it needs to go somewhere. So we're going to move it with tools, breath, sound, movement. And we have Noelani Love, who is going to be leading a ho'oponopono. It's a fusion also with music, and the vision is to heal all relations, to connect to our relationship with our mother, our father. What are we carrying within ourselves around stories of mother and father? What does that mean? And to be really clear and conscious as we are raising these humans, what are we perpetuating, if it might be, ancestral trauma, and how can we come back to a space of presence and love and offer our children that love to thrive.
Amazing. So I'm gonna kind of dig into you guys individually and ask you, was there a pivotal healing moment in your life that now fuels the way that you curate spaces for others?
Yeah. We're taking a deep breath. Feel this one out. Okay. Good question. Thank you.
No problem.
For me, I feel like it's an amalgamation of many moments, and there is one that stands out 5 years ago when I was feeling the pain and the grief of our planet, and I could feel the ancestral trauma and all of the anger burning in my blood, and it was triggered through an event that occurred with a partner, and the alchemy that happens in through the nature of relating with others, and how that can trigger the wounding in our shadows and everything we're talking about. And it essentially bubbled to the surface this much deeper process for me of clearing the pain and the anger and the rage and the sorrow of, I saw in my vision of all of these women, all of these grandmothers of my lineage, and children and men, beings, animals, plants, like just the actual consciousness of the earth, and feeling forgotten, feeling that core wound within humanity, at least through my sight and my experience of abandonment and betrayal through this lack of awareness and lack of reciprocity and lack of care, because of the trauma and because of the ego and because of disconnection and separation and division. And that, for me, that moment of collapsing on the ground and allowing myself to feel all of that and cry through that was a pivotal moment for me, with just having this deep conviction for embodiment of compassion, just this ultimate Christic compassion for others and for myself. And so that really generated a lot of patience and understanding, even in the face of really strong adversity and differences, in my personal life, and also when I look at the world stage and the events that are happening, and just really seeing it more from this higher eagle perspective of what it is, and having deep forgiveness for it, and that's liberated me a lot, and also taught me how to hold space for others.
Amazing.
And, how to hold a field with that love.
Love that. All right.
Yeah, I can share
next.
a little bit about my story. So I would say my catalyst for healing began when I had 14-day menstrual cycles and a lot of womb pain, a lot of PMS, and that took me down a deep relationship with my own womb, the feminine energy, the earth mother. I was very, very angry at my own mother growing up. She stood for something that I didn't quite understand at the time. I have so much respect for my mom now. As an adult, I've looked back a lot and honor her and the values she's given me. But you know, it's so natural as teenagers, as you're coming into yourself and your own identity, to be trying to find your way in this world where, you know, we're born into, you know, a society where there's just a lot of disconnect from the earth and, you know, from that template. And, my own pieces were really coming home to my body, and like Nova said, learning how to feel my emotions, studying the nervous system, learning how to somatically release pent up energy and just not hold it in, because I believe that the body is truly reflecting and expressing when the emotions and the energy have not had a pathway to express. And so if we're holding that in, the body is going to give certain signals. And I had infertility challenges. I had 14-day periods. Like I couldn't get pregnant at that time, even if I wanted to. And I know a lot of women struggle with that. And so the more that I uncovered the emotions that I was feeling around not feeling safe to be in my feminine energy, not slowing down, not feeling that there was spaces to feel my emotions. I grew up hearing like, your emotions, you know, you need to be strong, right? And I know a lot of men are told that too. You need to be strong, but there needs to be spaces that we can feel our hearts. And so in my process of feeling my heart, expressing, learning how to tend to my nervous system, slowing down and working at the pace of my menstrual cycle rhythm, that's when my periods balanced to 3 to 5 days. They're now normal. I get them every month. I'm so grateful. And then the relationship with my mother and mine repaired as well as with the earth. And so I think it's really important. And, you know, part of what we're going to be doing in the womb healing ceremony is like, our emotions are tools. They don't define us. And so if we have a lot of anger and we're suppressing it, it's going to come out in the form of our body and dis-ease. And if sometimes we don't have pathways to feel it and express it, it might come out on our partner or our children. And it's like, oh my gosh, I did not want to say that, right? But we have to embrace these deeper feelings inside and also know what our needs are. So that was a big journey that I went through personally, and why I'm so dedicated to this work. It was first the womb, and then after being so dedicated to the womb, it's like, well, all life passes through the womb. I'm dedicated to birth. I'm dedicated to creation, and thus it's why I'm here with the BEarth Festival. I'm dedicated to bringing this home to the earth and helping us remember those roots.
Love it. Amazing. Such a good show. Sarah, what about you? I know you've got something to say.
What do I not have? Jeez. I feel like I've been through the ringer. No, I'm just kidding. Man, I mean, kind of like what Nova said, there's just so many instances that I feel have really shape-shifted how I hold space for people. But I think, you know, one of the strongest ones, the beginning, because I started helping people back when I was 29, and, you know, created this practice where I was supporting, you know, hundreds of people. And then, you know, I realized that I couldn't support them in the right way until I actually became a mother and went through this process. And it took me, you know, on this really deep journey of how to hold space from a really selfless position, as well as, like, you know, my first birth with my daughter was very guided. The pregnancy, everything, she came to me prior to conceiving her, and she brought me to my husband, and, you know, took me on this journey of deep healing just through listening to her soul, just through listening to, like, what she had to say of, like, my purpose coming here, mommy, and, you know, and following that, you know. And I remember when I was in the birth, it was 38 hours long. And I was not expecting that. I didn't know what to expect. You know, you're a first-time mom, first-time birth, and you're like, what's happening, right? And I remember just being in so much pain. And I was looking at my husband, and I was like, please just take this pain away. Please, please, please. And he's like, why would I take away your power right now? You have everything within you to go into that pain, to face it, to transform it, and to have this baby. This is your moment. And I was like, okay, whatever. You know, and of course the anger was coming up, but I remember taking that time, and like the moment I actually went to the pain, my baby was posterior, so meaning like her back was on my back, and I looked at the pain, and my child was like, you need to let go of all your expectations, all your desires, everything that you think that I need, everything that you think that you need right now to get through this. And I just sat there and I sobbed, and she said, now tell yourself that you love yourself and that you accept you for who you are, and that everything that you're doing in this moment is perfect and it's in right alignment. And I remember just crying my eyes out. And after that moment, literally there was this strength, this line that came from that space. And I had my baby. And no one could take that away from me. It was like immediately, once that pain was released, I connected with my heart, connected with my body and the root and the earth again. And I was like, bah, let's do this. And it literally shape-shifted my entire practice of how I was helping people, how I was supporting people, and to be able to go into that space of true compassion, not just for the mother, but for what everyone's going through, and how to actually face that pain and how to hold that space, and also how to like be kind and gentle and loving to yourself during all those processes, and to not beat yourself up, you know, giving yourself compassion for what you've gone through, you know. And so for me, it feels like I'm able to hold a space of this like mothering space of just like, you're gonna be okay, and I'm gonna hold you, like the mother earth, like I'm gonna hold you no matter what. Like your parents, no matter what goes on, whatever you do, they will love you unconditionally, right? And we all make mistakes. So how can we forgive ourselves, give ourselves compassion, give ourselves love, and then spread that outwards to other people, and know that everyone else too makes mistakes.
Yeah, we're all just big kids.
We're all kids learning here on this earth school, you know what I mean? Like how to walk every day in just grace and ease, and come back to that, you know, that space from within in our heart. So
amazing. This has been such a gift having you guys in the studio, you know, your voices and your visions, your medicine. It's been so amazing. And, you know, thank you for sharing your heart with me and the listeners. I can't wait to be involved in the workshops and to see it, you know, firsthand. It's going to be so amazing. I'm so ready for it. Do you guys have any final messages or blessings that you would like to offer to the listeners today before we check out?
Just thank you all for being here. Thank you for hearing us, and I look forward to seeing every single soul that feels called to be present for this, whether you're in person or you're anywhere on the planet. We're all interconnected, and it truly is a living organism, like Numana was saying. It's a living, coherent field, and it's a prayer. It's a prayer for the past and the future, and how both are shaping the present, the eternal present. And it's a prayer for the future generations, for the earth, and for all of us. Everyone is welcome, and everyone benefits through uniting around this principle of birth. Birth is everyone. We are all birth, and earth is birth.
Yes. All right. So, you know, to those listening, may you carry a spark of this energy into your own life, whether you are going to attend birth or not. Know that you are part of a global reawakening. And the Birth Festival will be held on August 29th through the 31st on Kauai. And for more information and to register, or to learn more about it, you can go to BearthFestival.com. And that is BEARTH Festival, FESTIVAL.com. All right. Thank you so much. And again, we have the beautiful visionaries in here, Sarah Bisarello Numana Joy and Nova Soluna, the co-creators, and the birthers. The birthers themselves.
Meet the birthers.
Yes, yeah. All right.
Thank
Do
you,
you guys want to
Tiana.
say bye or any final alohas?
Thank you to the Simple Life.
Yes. Thank you,
mahalo.
Simple
Yeah,
Life.
mahalo.
And happy Father's Day again to all you
Yes.
beautiful fathers out there.
Yes,
Thank you
and
so
anybody
much.
that has been a father, not just
Absolutely.
fathers. I can actually read from the beginning of the show before we cut out. So today is Father's Day, a day that holds many layers. For some, it's a celebration. For others, a reflection. And for many, it's a complicated mix of both. So today, we honor the full spectrum. We honor the warriors, the whisperers, the way showers, the fathers who showed up even when they were still learning how, the mothers who became the fathers, the uncles, the brothers, the coaches, the neighbors, our soul friends who stepped in when no one else could. Because fatherhood is not just biology. It is not just a title or a role. It is a vibration, a presence, a protector's spirit. It's an energy, a steady presence that protects, uplifts, and guides. And that energy can live in anyone, regardless of gender or biology. So today we honor the energy of steady love. That energy that says, I got you. That energy shows up in quiet ways or in loud ways and in consistent ways. Remember that your love was and is sacred, and we honor it all. And we also hold space for those who are healing today, whether your father was a guiding light or a missing piece or a memory you're still healing from. If your father couldn't show up or if the wound still lingers, know this: you can still call in that fathering energy from the divine, from the community, and from within yourself, to hold space, to protect, to guide, and to love unconditionally. That is fatherhood in motion. And to all of you who have done that in big ways or small, we see you, we thank you, and we celebrate you. stay tuned. Coming up next, we have DJ Brother Kelly bringing us some Hawaiian vibes. Don't want to miss that. Thank you again for joining me here on The Simple Life with your boy DJ QT Beats. I will check you out on Sunday. Make sure that we are still checking in with ourselves, showing ourselves some grace. Aloha.
If you go out, you come back, and you come back to an empty house. You know, and it's loneliness again. It feels as though you've been dumped in the deep end, and there's nobody there to rescue you. Just something that is thrown at you. You can't throw it back to anybody. You know, you've got to just carry on.
As I stand in the mirror, I tell myself now that you're the only one. See the light as the path's getting clearer. I know now that I'll make it out alive. I'm for you. Tell myself. Tell myself, see the light. I know now.
Ach, ich dir sagen was. Was hast du denn vor? Ich gehe ins Konzert. Weiter, weiter, Daniels an.
Thanks a lot. I only mean it in the best way.
Tell myself. I tell myself. See the light. I know now. Da, 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 da. As I stand in the mirror, I tell myself now that you're the only one. See the light as the path's getting clearer. I know now that I'll make it out alive. Tell myself as I stand in the mirror, I tell myself now that you're the only one. See the light as the path's getting clearer. I know now that I'll make it out alive. Tell myself as I stand in the mirror, tell myself now that you're the only one. See the light as the path's getting clearer. I know now that I'll make it out alive. Tell myself, tell myself, see the light.